Hi, Aries, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your 2021 New Moon December New Moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into the safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. How will Aries be affected by the December 2021 new moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Ooh, goodness. So at the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. Let's see what the cards have to say. We have strength, which is Leo energy. If we have Leo within our natal chart or within our lives, it's going to affect us at the root of our being. We're going to find that these people can shake us up more than they realize. And we're also going to find that this part of our personality comes out of at our root, at like the quintessential aspect of who we are. And then we have the Fool. And this is a being able to walk forward and not really care what everybody else thinks. If everybody else thinks we're a fool, it's like, fine, think as you want. I'm still moving forward in the direction that I need. And this takes tremendous strength. It moves us to our inner self. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Our angels are untangling a lot of mess that we have left behind, a lot of drama that we have gone through within our lives. Then we have the King of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. If we have earth sign energy within our natal chart, if we have earth sign energy within our lives, they're going to affect us, and this is going to affect us in our inner self. We're also going to be looking at the prosperity of things, the way things are interconnected. We're going to start to see certain alignments that we hadn't seen before, or that we kind of left out off or poo-pooed and thought, no, that's not anything. Here it's like, oh my gosh, no. Now that things are being untangled, I'm seeing a power that is moving me forward more strongly than anything I realized. It moves us to our emotional self. We have the Two of Pentacles. We're trying to balance a lot without balancing ourselves. And what Spirit is saying is that's no way to move forward. We need to balance ourselves. We need to center ourselves. We need to look at our emotions. And this is something that we haven't been. Now, there's also going to be certain trickery within our life that's going to be called out. Certain things that have been holding us back, certain things that have been keeping us kind of, pushed down, that we're saying now, no, this isn't going to happen anymore. Then we have the Hermit, which is Virgo energy, earth sign energy, amplified by the King of Pentacles. If we have Virgo energy within our natal chart, it's going to come out very emotionally for us. If we have Virgo energy within our lives, they're going to affect us emotionally, much more so than other signs are. In the public arena, we have the Emperor. This is us. We come through astoundingly strong. It almost feels to other people that nothing can rattle us. We have the Seven of Swords. We're seeing the betrayals that have defined our lives for too long. We're also seeing what we need to move forward with, what we want within our lives, what we don't want within our lives. And it leads us to the Ace of Cups. It leads us to God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing us a gift of love, handing us a gift of healing. And as that gift of love and healing comes in, it makes us a little bit more emotionally vulnerable than we want to be in the public arena. But that's something, Aries, that we're going to face head on during this time, during this new moon in Sagittarius, the first and only total lunar eclipse of 2021. This is a powerful time for us. This is a time where we're feeling things more deeply, more emotionally, more passionately, more powerfully than we have before. We're also connecting with ourselves in a way that we thought, oh, I'm just not able to. And this has us starting the new year of 2021 with determination, with focus, with insight, and with new ideas. This is a time for us where we're seeing the betrayals that have happened in 2021, and we're moving forward in 2022 with like a distinct understanding of what we want and who we are. And this comes forward astrologically very, very powerfully. And we'll get to that in just a moment. Let's look at the energy we have to be mindful of here. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. This is Cernunnos. Now, Cernunnos is Capricorn energy, and Cernunnos is represented by the devil in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, which is different than Cernunnos in this Druid craft deck. So Cernunnos is the god of chaos. It's a nature god. It's saying what happens, happens. And it's kind of like the roll of the dice sort of thing, or every positive or negative action, or every action has a positive or negative reaction. We're going to see that very powerfully here. We need to be mindful of it, that sometimes things happen outside of our control. We're actually going to be, as a person, okay, I'm jumping a little bit, but as a person who's very much into order, who's very much the general, because that's what we are, Aries, we are the general of war. In Greek mythology, we are the god of war. We are going to find that we're very drawn to the chaotic. We're very drawn to the people who like say, well, screw it all, I'm going to do it anyway. We want to see why, or we're going to think maybe I'm going to do that too. But we're going to understand here that everything has a reaction to it. And us shouldering our responsibilities are going to be greatly affected by those reactions, more so than other people who go, I don't care. We care. We care and we uphold our duty. So that's going to be something to be mindful of here. We're going to be very intrigued by the chaos of it all, but we can't fall victim to it. We're going to want to. I mean, we might at times, but we're going to need to make it right. Now let's look at our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. This is meditation. This is the crown chakra. We need to connect our hearts and our mind, which sounds like an easy thing to do, but we tend to be all logic or all emotion. And that can also lead to the chaos of things. We have to learn the balance of it. If we don't, we're going to find that meditation is astoundingly hard for us. Just sitting with our own thoughts, we're going to think, wow, this part of my personality is really calling me out. Our spirit has it in for me. So many things are being thrown my way that I don't want to deal with. And what we're going to see here is that we need to sit quietly within ourselves and connect. And as we connect, we start to see, we start to understand, and the quiet actually fuels us. It's that meditation before the beginning of battle. And the beginning of battle is simply our lives. It's simply the chaos of existence, the chaos of the heart, the chaos of love and connection and understanding of who we are and where it is that we want to be. So this new moon on the 4th of December is astoundingly important. It is the last new moon of 2021, of course. Again, it is the only solar eclipse, the full solar eclipse, total solar eclipse of 2021. And a solar eclipse amplifies the power of the new moon because the moon darkens the sun. Now, the most important aspect of astrology is the sun conjunct the moon. So when we have a new moon coming forward, when we have the sun opposite the moon, this gives us a burst of energy and intuition. This brings us emotional balance and helps us to see the way that we want to move forward. On this new moon, it's amplified, again, by the solar eclipse and has us seeing the path that we want to move forward in more clearly and it is excellent for this ending, for the sense of I'm ending a year which hasn't always been going my way, which has brought difficulties and, hardships that I hadn't planned for or that we couldn't foresee. And this is a time for a fresh start and a fresh outlook. Now, this is also amplified by the South Lunar Node. Now, the South Lunar Node is in retrograde in Scorpio. And this is the first time that it is retrograde in Scorpio in 18 years, because this is the time it takes for the lunar node to go through the zodiac. So the South Lunar Node is a place of memories. It is a place where we see the energy that is draining within our lives, and we also see our karmic destiny, our karmic debt, what it is here that we're supposed to be figuring out, why it is that we are here. This is a time that's known as, the South Lunar Node is known as the tail of the dragon, while the North Lunar Node is known as the head. The tail of the dragon sweeps away our karmic debris, and it sweeps it into our lives, and it sweeps it into our understanding, and has us looking at the karmic theme of our lives and what we have held dear to ourselves, but also what has held us back. It comes in Scorpio. Now, this is important because Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, and Pluto connects us with the soul, connects us with the reincarnation of our soul, of ourselves, and is the alignment of the energy we need within our lives and expels what we no longer want. So we're going to see here that we're seeing ourselves in such a raw, vulnerable way that it can make us want to run away from it. It can make us definitely want to embrace Cernunnos, the god of chaos, and say, whatever happens, happens. I'm seeing too much. I'm experiencing too much. And because we have strength at our root, and because we have the Fool at our root, we're supposed to be on a greater journey, a journey that calls for our strength, that calls for our determination, that calls for our insight, that calls us forward, that calls us to be the hero of our destiny, which we are. We are Aries. We are the god of war. We are powerful, we are insightful, we are passionate, and we are determined. And this is a time where we can run from that. But our angels are untangling so much that if we run, we run from something intrinsically important to ourselves, and we're going to feel it within our heart because we have the new moon conjunct Mercury. This puts our thinking, our communication, and short distance travel into focus. It puts our world as we live it to the day on alert in our minds, and we start thinking quickly. We are astoundingly adaptable. We're astoundingly curious. Again, we're quick thinking. We are very good during this time at buying and selling, negotiating, and being social. We are very good at connecting. This is because Virgo is ruled by Mercury. And Mercury here affects our heart more so than others because we have the Hermit here, which is ruled by Virgo. Okay, Mercury rules Virgo. And so this connects us. The new moon conjunct Mercury hits us right at the heart. And we're feeling out of balance. And so when everything starts to come into alignment, when we start to think, when we start to communicate, when we start to look at the way that we need to move forward in our own little corner of the world and our own little sphere of existence, all of a sudden things become clearer. Things become clearer, things become more passionate, things become aligned. Now, this then moves us to the new moon sextile Uranus. Now, this isn't going to be the most fun of alignments. This is a time that brings nervousness, tension, and anxiety. We will feel like some change or some drama is on the horizon. That's because it is. Uranus brings forward change. It brings forward something that is unexpected. We can find it hard to relax because of this. We can find it hard to relax because we know something is going to happen. There's also going to be a buildup of energy within us that makes us feel anxious and off our game because we're not fully able to prepare for what we want. However, this is going to be balanced by the new moon sextile Saturn. Now, this has us grounded with the influence of Saturn, which helps reduce the anxiety of Uranus. Saturn is astoundingly grounded, astoundingly logical. And this alignment gives us caution, it gives us patience, it gives us perseverance, has a strong sense of responsibility. And those are all things here, Aries, that we are very good at being able to, hold dear to ourselves. However, Cernunnos, the devil, is ruled by Saturn. And so Saturn during this time is also something we have to be mindful of because we have that energy to be mindful of here within the tarot. And it's saying to us, don't take things so seriously. Don't ignore the anxiety that we have. Don't sit there and kind of shove it off to work and to order and to the way things have to be, because that anxiety, that sense of tension, that sense of drama on the horizon is going to be leading us towards a very powerful and very impactful change. Saturn is also going to be squared Uranus. Now, this can bring challenges that we don't want and setbacks, things that we sit there and look at and think, how the heck did that happen? Yet it will if we keep an open mind, if we are patient with ourselves and with the world around us and flexible, not rigid with ourselves and again, the world around us, this can be a time when our challenges turn into opportunities because we rid our lives of negativity that has been holding us back for way too long. It's actually going to be part of the karmic debt that the South Lunar Node, the tail of the dragon, is swinging into our consciousness and into ourselves. Now, the eclipse aspect pattern of this time is very, very interesting. It's called the large learning triangle. And this represents a crisis, which then results in a profound learning experience or development of our own self. It can be something big, it can be something very small that only we recognize within our lives during this time, but it is going to be something that propels us forward. We have the conflict, which is represented astrologically by Saturn squared Uranus. We have the striving for a solution, which is brought to us and brought forward by the new moon Quincus Uranus, or the eclipse Quincus Uranus. And it has the harmonization aspect, which is the new moon sextile Saturn. It's like we start to see it, we start to claim it, we start to understand what it is that we want. And this moves us forward. This is a sense of, I see the pattern that I need. I see what I'm being called towards and for. And as I'm seeing this and as I'm claiming this within myself, I'm claiming the power of the moon as part of me. Now, not astrologically speaking, but within the fixed stars during this time, we have the constellation of Draco. Now, Draco means dragon, and the fixed star of Alwade is known by the ancients as the nebulous star of the dragon's eye. This is by ancient astrologers. So it's the hazy sight of the dragon. In Arabic, it means who's to be betrayed. So the dragon isn't looking at things clearly, and the dragon's force betrays somebody. We have that betrayal coming forward in the public arena here. So this star aligns us with the power of Mars and of Saturn. We're being told to be mindful of Saturn during this time. We are fueled by the power of Mars, so it really does move strongly within us. This makes us bold, it makes us cruel, it can make us heartless. This is what Alwade brings to the table. It brings a dragon's sensibilities: cruelness, boldness, heartlessness. It can be criminal because there's different laws for a dragon than there is for a regular man. And there's violence because, that is what a dragon is. It is fierce and it is violence. So be mindful of our emotions and the fact that the star can make us see things in a very hazy light and a negative and envious light where there doesn't need to be negativity and envy. So we need to step back at what we're seeing and connect that with our heart. That's why we're being told here to meditate. That's why we're being told here to contemplate. There is also the fixed star of Antares, which comes forward. And this star is at the heart of the constellation of Scorpio, which is known by the ancient Greeks as the anti-Aries. Now, this is not the constellation of Scorpio, but the fixed star Antares is known by the ancient Greeks as the star anti-Aries or the rival to Mars. So this is again going to strike us because we are ruled by Mars. This star is the rival to Mars because of its fiery red and green color. So you could mistake it in the sky for being Mars, but yet it's not. So this is a time where this can cloud our thoughts. It's also ruled by Mars and Jupiter, making it commanding, making it prideful, making it malevolent, making it destructive, broad-minded, which is the best thing that we can say about Antares. But as it is broad-minded, it is also rash and it is headstrong. So we have to be mindful of all these things as we're moving forward, because these things knock us off our game. They're both ruled by Mars. They both call to us in a very distinct way. How do we move forward with this insight? How do we move forward with our vision being clouded? How do we move forward with the heart of Scorpio? Okay? Because the South Lunar Node is entering into Scorpio, with the heart of Scorpio clouding our very vision, clouding our hearts, and being mistaken for our eyes, our destiny, our ruling planet. So that's going to be something that we need to ask ourselves here during this time. It is going to take tremendous strength. The strength card here, Leo energy, is coming forward. It's the fire energy. It's feeding us. Now, Leo tends to burn a little bit, well, we burn fast and bright, but Leo tends to burn a little bit faster, a little bit brighter than us. We need to keep that strength moving us forward. We need to take that heat and that determination and face the destructiveness that is going to be within our lives during this time. The things that are going to make us question, make us look at things in astoundingly different ways and say, I'm facing that demon. I'm taming that dragon, or I'm slaying that dragon, depending on where we are within our journey. And as we do so, we're going to find ourselves walking a path that others will call foolish, because they won't understand the ferocity within us. They won't understand the broader vision that we have for ourselves and the way that we need to move ourselves forward. This is a time where we can feel completely out of our depth, where we can feel completely overwhelmed. But this is also a time where we understand that every single hero, every single great general was thought of as a fool at times. Their vision couldn't be seen. It couldn't be understood. And so here, when we're looking at our destiny, our progression forward, what it is that we want from our lives, what it is that we need from ourselves, we are pushing ourselves forward and saying, you might be a fool to others, but you will be a hero to more. And you will be a hero to yourself if you keep your feet firmly grounded and firmly centered. And if you embrace the passion, the determination, and the focus that is leading us forward during this time. It brings us to our inner selves. We're going to see our angels unraveling a lot of the trauma and the drama and the hurts and the pains that we've been carrying with us. A lot of the stuff that has kept us back in the past, we're going to be saying, I don't need that. I don't need that muck, that mire, that guilt that I've been carrying. I'm starting to let it go. I'm starting to see myself for who I truly am, what I truly need, and the way that I need to truly progress forward. This leads us to seeing the intricacies of things. The thing that the King of Pentacles can do better than all the other kings is he can see how, the lack of rain in one region can affect the farmers, which can affect, the food production, which can affect the distribution. I can't say that word, which can affect the shipping, which can affect the people. And he can see that all so clearly. I'm using that as an example because it's the clearest one that Spirit is giving me. But we're going to see here that everything is intertwined. And that's also what our angels are unraveling. A lot of the things that are intertwined that we didn't realize, that we made a mess out of because we didn't see how they were important to one another, how there was a symbiotic relationship building between them. And as we do this, we're going to see our endless prosperity really relying on us getting our footing, relying on us seeing ourselves, seeing what we want, seeing our way forward. We've been looking at everything that we've been juggling, and we haven't been looking at ourselves. We need to keep our feet firmly grounded. And this comes at an emotional level. This comes at a level that makes us think, okay, instantaneously, I'm just going to say that I can do it. I'm just going to say that I can take on those extra burdens. I can keep pushing myself forward. It doesn't matter how exhausted I am, how overwhelmed I am. I'm just going to keep on pushing. And what Spirit is saying here, to be eternally prosperous, we need to stop a little bit. We need to ground ourselves. We need to look at the trickery or the way that there is a corruption in the viewing of what's important to us. We need to calm our emotions and turn inward. Because as we turn inward, there's a flexibility of mind and a passion of self that starts to lead us forward, that starts to illuminate the way that we are embracing our lives, what we're going after, what we want, and what we need. And as we do this, we're going to start to see through the darkness, but we're also supposed to connect to ourselves more and more. And we're going to connect to ourselves, but up to a certain point. And then we're going to think, well, there's enough of this. Like, this is malarkey. I just need to act. I just need to go. I just need to do. And what Spirit is going to say here is that no, first I need to ground me, and especially emotionally. I need to look at my heart. I need to look at what I desire. I need to look at the way that I want to move forward. I need to look at the way everybody else wants me to move forward. And whether that's in alignment with where I want to be or whether that's not. And as we do this with ourselves, as we ground ourselves, as we see ourselves, there's a power that's building within us. In the public arena, people are going to see us as fierce. Period. End of discussion. They're not going to see us as somebody who's doubting, who's questioning, who's fearing. They're going to see us as somebody who's going after what we want. And this is a time where we're claiming our throne, we're claiming our voice. We understand that other people can rule us, but we also understand that I get to rule my life. I do not get to have other people dictating for me the way I should move forward and what I should be doing with my life. This brings us to the Seven of Swords. It makes us very aware of the betrayals that we've had in our lives. It also makes us very aware of what we need to carry and what we need to leave behind. Of what, if we keep on carrying it with us, is going to break us. It's heartbreaks, it's pains, it's disappointments. It is betrayals by others. It is betrayals of ourselves to ourselves. That if we keep on carrying it with us, the guilt, the anger, the pain, the discomfort, we will fall apart. And this is a time in the public arena where it's like, no, I can keep on beating myself up my whole entire life. Or I can go after what I need. I can go after what I want. I can look at things with ferocity and intensity. And then there is this healing of the heart. As we start to embrace our true power here, there is a sense of my heart is guiding me forward. There is a sense here of our emotions coming to the forefront, but also of our heart being cleansed. When we have the Ace of Cups in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it's overflowing with water, which means that we can overflow with water. We can cry very easily during this time. We can find ourselves a little bit more sensitive than we want to be. It's because all the stagnation within our heart, within our emotions, the way we've built walls and barriers as we're turning inward, as we're looking at ourselves, those walls are falling down. And as those walls are falling down, we're connecting more and more with our emotions. We're connecting more and more with the balance of ourselves to our own prosperity and to the blessings that were granted to us long before we came on this earth. And as we do so, we cleanse away so much of the hurt, so much of the pain. We're going to want to go full throttle into the public arena. We're not going to want to stop at all. And yet here, with the Ace of Cups, it's saying here, be cautious, because our hearts are raw, our hearts are intense, and our hearts are going to lead us in a way that it's going to take strength to be able to listen to them. Now let's see what the moon has to say for herself here. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels, oh goodness, and spirit guides, angels. So we have at our root, we have a fiery climax approaches the full moon in Aries. So we come through very strongly here at our root, our power as an Aries coming through very powerfully in the public arena, now coming through very powerfully here at the very root of ourselves. It brings beginnings. It brings the new moon forward. So this new moon is going to be fiery, it's going to be intense, and it's going to call us forward in a way that illuminates us, even though it is a solar eclipse, even though it is a new moon. It is darkened, right? We are going to shine. And that's something we have to be aware of, because we can be uncomfortable with shining in the midst of all the darkness, in the midst of really having people focus on us, because everything else is kind of silent. Everything else is black. It moves us to our inner selves. Then we have the south node, right? The south lunar node here, which says, don't let your past hold you back, which is all of what this time is about. So that comes through very powerfully in our inner selves. And it says self-love. So we have the South Lunar Node here. And it says, don't let your past hold you back. Self-love. Self-love, the embrace of the heart, the understanding of ourselves and our passions and what we love and what we want. And it brings us to our emotional self, which says a personal issue reaches resolution extremes. We're going to have a tendency to be drawn to the extremes during this time. This is why we need to turn inward. This is why we need to balance ourselves. This is why we need to take time to connect with ourselves. It brings us to the public arena. And it says, what do you need to release? Which is another huge thing during this time. What do we need to release? What have we been holding on to that has been actually a burden around us, that has been a chain around us, that hasn't been, helpful to us? And we have to have patience, because what do you need to release? And have patience as we disentangle ourselves from this, but also as our angels disentangle ourselves from the mess that we've created within our lives, or from the karmic debt and the personal debt that we carry during this time, what we've accumulated. It brings us to our subconscious lunar self, which says, bring love into the situation. Pleasure. When we bring love into the situation, it will bring us pleasure. It will bring us a sense of release. It will bring us a sense of power. It brings us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, and that's the King of Pentacles. We need to be mindful of being so caught up with the interconnectedness of things and the socioeconomic power of things that we forget the way that we're supposed to move forward, the seeds that we are planting within our own soul, the connection that we're making within our own lives. We can look at the broader scale very easily, but the inner scale for ourselves, the personal scale, can be much harder. It moves us to our subconscious chakra self, and that's grounding. This is the Earth Star Chakra, located 6 inches below our feet. We need to look at how we're grounding ourselves, how we're planting ourselves within the earth, how we're connecting with what we want and what we love and what we greatly desire within our lives. Are we feeding ourselves correctly? Are we nourishing ourselves? Or is the soil that we're feeding from toxic to us? It moves us to our subconscious rooted self, which is the moon. The moon, which is Pisces energy here, most definitely, but it is also the sense that this moon talks to us almost unlike any other. It is powerful, it is intense, it is fierce. And this is going to be a time where we're connecting with the moon. We're connecting with the lack of light through brightness, through intensity. And it's through the eclipse, it's through the new moon that we are connecting with the fire within us that has been hidden for too long. We're going to be looking at fears, at things that have held us back, doubts that we have within our own mind, things from our past life that is weighing us down and keeping us stagnant, keeping us from moving forward. It moves us to our subconscious emotional self. Well, inner self. And it's the 6 of Swords. This is us gathering up our knowledge, gathering up our information, and being able to move forward. This is divinity guiding us. This is the sacred feminine connecting with us, guarding us. And this is us knowing that our emotions will be intense, it will be overwhelming, the waters will not always be smooth, but we need to connect with where our heart longs to be and what it is we greatly desire within our lives and within ourselves. It moves us to our subconscious emotional self, which is the 3 of Pentacles. Guard what it is that we have earned. Our dreams are going to teach us a lot. There is prosperity on the horizon, but we're also creating warmth and security for us during this time. There's prosperity here if we take it. We're going from the 2 of Pentacles, finding our balance, to the 3 of Pentacles, being able to use that balance, being able to use the prosperity of ourselves to move us forward in a very real and a very powerful way. It brings us then to our subconscious public arena self, and that is the 8 of Wands. Once everything falls into alignment, it starts moving really fast. And it's ready or not, here it comes. Ready or not, here comes the change. Ready or not, here comes the power. What are we going to do with it? And how is this going to project us forward into 2022? Wow, Aries, that was intense. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of this time. So take a nice deep breath in exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aries, and may you have a blessed moon.